Ngayon ay ating ipinagdiriwang ang National Heroes Day with our own
His Royal Highness Rodolfo Montenegro Palpalato.
Thank you very much. I am very happy of this day because you are here with us. May I greet you a pleasant day. Please be seated.
Sige, dito ka lang umupo.
In transforming our nation, on this day, December 30, our very own national hero, Dr. Perlas Rizal, the King of Malay Race, give his life on our hallowed ground, the land of promise, the pearl of the Orient Seas, o lupang hinirang. The ideal manifestation of love of country and dedication to the service of our people. It was therefore fitting and proper that the frame of our kingdom of Maharlika should decree that the highest official of the land shall be called upon to assume office in the King's General Administration. To the Maharlika nation. On this historical occasion, with deep gratitude and humility, I, you, and many others and me accept the nation's call to duty as the best chosen few. Bound by the oath I have taken, I have resolved that I shall be the King's General Administrator, not only of the members of the Royal House of Maharlika, but to all groups and individuals. I shall be the kings not only to the rich, but more so of the poor. I shall be not only to one sector, but all of the people of Maharlika nation. The primary function of the King's General Administration is not to dispense favor, but to dispense justice and service. Those members of the blessed chosen few especially the Royal Armed Forces, thus the oath of office contain a special place to do justice and service to every man. For with God help, I shall do justice to every citizen, no matter how exalted or how humble may be his station and position in life. As we open a new era, a new decade in life of our nation, let us measure the task before us and set for our goals. Our aims are twofold. First, to solve the immediate problems of the present. And second, to build the kingdom materially and spiritually for the future, for all the people all over the world. Our first mission is the solution of the problem of corruption. Not only the corrupted in our treasury, but also the corrupted mind of the people. We assume leadership at the same time when our nation is in the throes of a moral degradation and infirmity of minds, unprecedented. Our national history never within the span of human memory that our leader in our nation in the Republic of the Philippines under a local government unit has graft permitted everywhere. All level of government, from the highest echelon to the lowest, to the barangay takays. The solution of the problem shall call for the exercise of the tremendous persuasive power of the king. As you know very well, the kingdom is not composed of king alone, but especially those who have a calling, all citizenry of the Philippines. I shall consider it therefore my duty to set a personal example of honesty and uprightness. We must prove that ours is not a nation of hopeless grafters, but a race of good and decent, honorable men and women and child. I intend to do more than this among the appropriate mission I shall take to involve the complete eradication of the social causes is to assume moral and political responsibility for the general state of public morality in our country. Our second mission is to attain self-sufficiency in the staple foods of our people, namely rice, corn, the elemental needs of every people are foods, clothing, shelter, and education. We shall give impetus industries that will provide clothing for our populations at reasonable prices. In collaboration with the private enterprise, we shall invigorate the National Housing Program and devote particular attention to proper housing for our countrymen. Who earn the lowest income and the indigent who live under subhuman condition. Our people has now been treated as the lowest mammals. While attending to the people's need for adequate clothing and shelter, the urgent emphasis shall be in the need for the stable food with cooperation of the trustees, holders of this monotonous wealth. We shall implement a rice and corn program that shall bring about sufficiency in the production of these cereals and make them available at prices within the reach of the masses. The basic national problem is the poverty of the masses. Our third mission, then, therefore, is the creation of the condition that will provide more income for our people. Income for those who have none, and more income for those whose earnings are inadequate for their elemental needs. Millions of our people are unemployed, and millions more are worthless, useless eater in this planet Earth. We must rectify the situation to help our people attain a higher level of living, create a domestic buying power that can help generate prosperity to each and every one of us. Unless all their time during our watch, this problem will be worsened to the point of disaster in view of our population explosion. During our watch, we see today that we care for them. the permanent solution to the problem is the rapid and sound utilization effort to increase the productivity of the farmers and the laborers to teach the Pumaman. Scientific method to lighten his burden, to give land to the landless, and in time to place within his means of essential commodities for decent and honorable living. It is not our only task to solve the immediate problem of the present and build the materially, spiritually for the future. The structure of this kingdom must be built not only upon material but more so upon spiritual foundation. Our fourth mission, therefore, is to establish the practice and example that will strengthen the moral fiber of our nation and reintroduce those values that would invigorate our divine governments. These we shall seek through formal modes of reform, through enforcement of statutes, and whenever visible, through the power of example. I shall accordingly endeavor to seek the truth not only to integrity but also a simple living, hard work, and dedication to the national well-being. This then is synthesis in our mission, the trust that has been placed in our hand by our people. We are called upon to all and to all action of this global government, the spiritual government, including foreign relation, in which we shall vigorously discharge our part in the struggle of our vast and rich natural resources in order to create opportunities for employment. We believe that the effective accomplishment of this task should be left to the citizen himself, that is, to private enterprise, not to the spiritual divine government. We do not need the laws because it was already given the laws for us to live in happiness and in prosperity. We have to help our kingdom, shall extend this help within the maximum financial capacity. We shall initiate and carry out a program to help solve employment and underemployment. Through massive productive and labor-intensive project calculated to create multiple jobs opportunities while at the same time increasing the production, productivity, and wealth of the land. Our mission, PIP, is to launch a bold but well-formulated social-economic program that shall place our country on the road of prosperity and happiness for all our people. I shall present this program in the first decisive meeting of the nation message for the consideration and support of our United Nations, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, and to the signatories of this infinite account. In essence, the program will call for return to free and private enterprise, will also aim at self-propelling the nation along the path of progress. First, through the dynamic development of our resources under a system of free and private enterprise, and second, by implementation of social program for the masses under the direction of our Commander-in-Chief, our Lord Jesus Christ. Economic development has become the essential foundation of and prerequisite of our survival as a free people in the kingdom world. The masses of our people, it matters little that this governance offer a philosophy superior to that other system. That system can never solve the problem. They cannot stop criminality because of the poverty. But it does not matter greatly to them that the kingdom establish economic security as well as affirm the dignity of human person and secure individual rights. We count on the goodwill and understanding ever assistance of our neighbors, east and west, north and south, but we keep our sincere dream for steady production in the spirit of self-help. We depend in our schools, our churches, our houses, to teach our young that the human personality rises to its full dignity when its position works and provide and give without outward compulsion and not with the stretches out his hands. Our conception of freedom include national discipline guided by public interest, which is the constant demand of adjustment for the enjoyment of the freedom. Such measure as the restriction of firearms, the control of imports, and the regulation of exchange within the exigencies of our young Maharlika. Although the reaction to this measure among our people may be varied and new, their effectivity is not rigid we have undergone more numerous expedite which we are able to survive in the past. Our citizen shall be heard, and the application of this measure shall be relayed where stability, efficiency, and the common good so demand. It is clear that we must reorganize our administrative machinery with a view securing greater efficiency, the improvement of public service and economy of means. Are you still there?
Yes.
An effort to discharge of this maka-Diyos, maka-tao, makabayan, makakalikasan. Our government today cannot solve criminality because of poverty. They can never provide employment to the people. Why? Because they don't have gold. It's the responsibilities in order to make the machinery more effective, responsive to the public need within the limit of our available resources. It is clear then that we must stabilize the finances consistent with our ability to tap legitimate sources of revenue and judicious outlay of funds to meet current and future needs with open accountability for our obligation at home and abroad. It is clear that we must constantly watch our economy, detect its weak point, undertake the corresponding measure to strengthen and have a courage to develop our resources that make our increasing sufficiency, conserve the fluid asset that keep the steady flow of service and tools available only from abroad and provide a broadening economic security for each and every citizen, men, women, and child. It is clear that our people individually and collective must keep their minds clear in the issues that intend to divide and disrupt, and must constantly improve their presentation of these values which deserve their lasting allegiance and determine the stability of the Jewish institution. Ours in the kingdom of America can only be worth defending and preserving if it inspires the discipline with established reasonable balance between liberty in one side and security and responsibility on the other. Our peace I repeat, our peace at home and our prestige abroad rest to the vigor of these loyalties which stamp us as free men where self-interest encompasses the welfare and happiness of our fellow here and beyond our borders. So, if we follow, only then that we can say that our country will become the greatest nation in this planet. I repeat, our own program economic development is essentially a program of self-help. We encourage our neighbors to do the same. We invite each and everyone to them to cooperate with us in an effort to coordinate the mission for our common goal development. We must hold ourselves out of the treacherous morass of misery and want and assume a new dignity. Our international relation. So, give me a second to congratulate the international Eagles who are here today with us. We must henceforth discard the old superior inferior philosophy by honest to goodness work of the head and hands. We share common faith in our neighbors and our free institution will not flourish. In train of growth and barrenness, we therefore salute our newly born kingdom. May I salute Brother Chris Ilmin, and to all who are here with us today, except those absent. Thus, along with other free people and people still to become free from the clutches of apathy, we can join together within the framework of United Nations with the regional association given to the advancement of the world peace and prosperity. And so, in encouraging and assisting other people to be free on the basic principle of mutuality in the solution of our common social, economic, and cultural problems, help to advance our own national interests in taking this view. We are not guided by mere geopolitical consideration, all eternity, but feeling that this is our proper and immediate field of action, where we must fulfill our own destiny. Maharlika people. We can advance to help to advance the interests of free world by the entry of subversive ideas into this rich, populous region of East Asia. We respect the right of our neighbors. Choice really their own system, but ours is in the spirituality. Ours is spiritual divine government. Our relation with other people, especially the Chinese, with whom we have had such close contact over many centuries, we shall maintain an open mind, giving due help to the requirement of our natural security and security of Asia. As a whole, the Japanese people will play an important role in our past part of the world. To sum it all, we all join hands together to join the blessed and chosen few in our chosen land, the kingdom of Maharlika. Thanks to everyone, and may I greet you, before I finish, may I greet you good morning to each and everyone. Thank you.